Good evening, everyone. This is Controlled Chaos speaking. I hope you all are having a good Monday. If not, I hope to help with that. So, we return to Stories, the Path of Destinies. Last stream, we have discovered 2 of the 4 truths that I believe unlock the final path. The first we uncovered was that Lapino, his oldest friend, was a traitor to the rebellion. The second, the Skyripper core is unstable and is very likely to create a black hole or anything to a lesser extent that is still just as bad. So, this time, I'll be attempting to uncover the last 2 truths. And I don't believe it would be too hard to do that, but we'll see as we dive right in. So I believe this might be the start of the path that leads to the Stone of the Iblis, which is probably one of the 4 truths. So let's start here.
The island was windswept desert. No one went there except ostriches and ostrich hunters. The Iblis Stone. It sounded ominous. It sounded powerful. If the Emperor was searching for it, it must be dangerous. And so, Bernardo went ostrich hunting.
I guess that's as a cover.
Every child could sing verses about the Skyripper, but ancient codices held hints of other things. A stone that ate souls, a ruby that drank blood, a jewel only a righteous man could give away. Were all these things the Iblis Stone? Long hidden in a buried temple? Another ancient item that was only resurfacing now? Drawn up from the deeps by the Emperor's horrific rituals?
Yes. And I think it might be dangerous.
We had the materials to make a sword, and here was a crafting bench. Now, where could he make an ice cream soda?
Ice cream sodas are delicious. Let's see. Yep. And got it. Just familiarizing myself with controls.
Trusted doors that opened automatically, especially after being buried for millennia. Was this some sort of trap?
Let's advance cautiously about this, then.
Come over here. Ravens were already here, cawing in frustration. They were still searching for a way in. Good. And he hadn't come too late.
I wonder if it only opened for him. Oh boy. Let's see here. Yeah, this will be useful.
More and more extraordinary.
And suddenly it got bright. Huh? You have been chosen in this critical mission for your ability to follow orders to the letter without question. Do not believe the naysayers. Your score in the intelligence test is only proof that you are better geared than anyone else to follow orders. Take pride in knowing that I, your Emperor, have handpicked you for this mission. Follow the instructions to the letter. Always travel in pairs. Do not look at the engravings in the wall. Do not lose the hermetic box. When you find the stone, immediately place it in the box and seal the box. If you hear a voice in your head, ignore it. Remember, the temple is haunted. Obviously. This is an old temple dedicated to an old evil god. There were blood sacrifices. Of course it would be haunted. Ignore the voice in your head. Remember, ghosts cannot hurt you, but they will try to confuse you. When you hear a voice, take the drowsy pill. If you meet another soldier with the stone, and it is not in the hermetic box, immediately spray them with drowsy gas. Find the stone, put in the box, seal the box, and most important of all, find the stone. Interesting. I wonder how mad this Emperor actually is if he has that sort of thing.
He wished there were more pylons he could use the hook on. He really needed to construct additional pylons.
Seriously, what is a pylon? I know of them, I just don't know what they do or what they're for. Oh. Oh! Shoot. Ah! Ah! Oh! Darn it.
How could a temple to Iblis still even exist? The Transcendent Emperor had destroyed all the shrines of the lost gods after exiling them.
Yeah.
Had it been buried in that long-ago battle? Or had Iblis foreseen his fate and hidden it from his enemy?
It is puzzling.
I think this is yours, said Renato. But he couldn't hear his enemy's answer.
Ooh.
The Ravens at least could not get past this point. Obviously, the temple builders knew how to deal with tomb raiders.
Well, what are we then? It's Avi. Yeah, that would be fun to use.
Renato hated cannon traps. Also, who reloaded these things anyway? He never figured that part out. Ow, 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 ow.
Alright. That must be it.
It was a stone of the purest blackness. It reflected no light, like a void made solid. Nervous, he picked it up. Who said that? It was the stone. Eager, thirsty. That seemed tempting and terribly wrong. Zenobia was the Emperor's greatest general and a potent witch. But they had been close once, and Renato wasn't sure he really wanted to be Emperor. Why not capture the core of Sky Ripper instead? It was the eye of a lost god torn out by the Transcendent Emperor to power his greatest weapon. It's the core, said the stone anxiously.
Well, let's follow this line. I am to learn the truth. I don't agree with it, but let's go.
Why was he listening to a talking rock?
Ah, but the rock had a point. If the stone could truly turn him into a powerful warrior, he could defeat the Emperor with the very weapon the wicked old toad had sought for himself.
To be a hero, you had to sacrifice old friends sometimes, especially when they've become enemies.
I don't know about that.
As he placed the impossibly black crystal in his gauntlet, Renato had a sudden vision. Charred fields covered in dead ravens below a black sun.
Was it the time of the lost gods before the Transcendent Emperor? Was it the future? Feed the souls, it whispered. Take the power. He could feel the stone's hunger for souls, its thirst for blood. All right, I get it. This was going to be interesting. This chest contained a Vorpal sword. I'm just kidding. Vorpal swords don't exist.
The city was burning, and there was no one to put out the fires. If somehow Zenobia survived her father and inherited his crown, what sort of empire would she be heir to? But he couldn't think about that, could he?
What? The ravens on Zenobia's island were no match for Renato. They screamed as the stones sucked out their souls. And with each death, he felt stronger. Take the power, the stone told him.
How dark. Ooh.
He couldn't do worse with Zenobia than he'd done with the core, could he?
And there's Zenobia.
Zenobia was waiting for Renato. She was alone, confident as always. Fire danced at the tips of her claws.
Are you here to surrender? She seemed as cocksure as he felt. But she didn't know he had the stone. And I've missed you too, love. He chuckled.
She spotted the stone and bolted without another word.
I bet I could make my sword better, thought Renato.
Ah, it automatically upgrades. Cool. Here we are.
Finally, Renato caught up to her. He had never seen her scared before. At school, she'd been the determined, brave one. Now her eyes were wide, frightened. He didn't like seeing her this way. Kill her, whispered the stone. You cannot win your rebellion without it. Please. No, said Zenobia. Not that way. Oh, they had been so close once. Could he really feed her soul to his demonic gem? But if he spared her, he would not get the full power of the stone. Oh, how could he be the hero he wanted to be?
No.
Renato hesitated. Zenobia was his greatest enemy. She was the Emperor's daughter and his greatest general, and the single person Renato least wanted to remove from this world. Especially that way. She was holding her arms out before her, hands fluttering, fending him off with hopeless urgency. Nope. She was weaving a spell. He couldn't move.
Uh-oh.
This thing is evil, she said. She slid the Iblastone out of its slot in his gauntlet and slipped it into a bag. Maybe we can learn from it.
She eyed him with a strange, wry, apologetic look. I missed you too. And before he could move again, she was gone. Learn from the Iblastone? What did that mean? Would she take it to the palace or to the observatory on the Nexus? If she thought it was evil, she wouldn't want it in the palace. Maybe I can outrace her to the observatory, thought Renato. Cats can run faster, but foxes can run longer.
I don't doubt that. And back to the Nexus we go.
Renato felt a little sick. Ever since Zenobia had taken the stone from him, he'd felt an ache that wouldn't go away. He missed it. He wanted it back. He needed it back. Why hadn't he killed her when he had the chance? She was the enemy. He hadn't even seen her in 14 years. Why had he hesitated? You're a sucker for an empowered woman. Renato kicked himself. Don't make that mistake again. Renato wondered if his future self had commissioned these poles.
Huh. That is an interesting thought. At school, we learned the gospel of the Transcendent Emperor, the last divinity to pierce the skies. He would banish the evil old gods and grant us the gift of time. But could one man, divine as he may be, create something as intricate as time? I have my own theory. I believe that time is a symptom rather than a gift. I am convinced that on a cosmic scale, there is a pendulum motion between order and chaos. The Transcendent Emperor ended chaos and started the age we live in, an age of cause and effect, of fact and logic. Time is merely the tapestry upon which these laws manifest themselves. It is the foundation of the order's companion, entropy. But in the age of chaos, when the old gods reigned, perception carries more weight than facts, emotions can shape worlds, and time ceases to exist. The age of order is ending. I am merely helping the inevitable. Entropy has been broken. Fate has been breached. The end of time is coming, and I shall embrace it. Emperor Isengrim III, Secret Journal. Huh. Well, there's the motivation. Not one I agree with, but now we know what we're dealing with. Someone who's lost hope. So now I can slow down time by slowing my swing. Heh. There we go. Where's the next step?
This chest contained blank passports from 15 countries. And something useful. Zenobia thought the stone was evil. Was it? He longed to have it back. He felt so good killing ravens with it. And yet, he'd felt unclean ever since he'd touched it. She confused him. She'd made him want to be a better fox. And then she'd abandoned him. Never telling him she was the Emperor's daughter. Never contacting him since. But who was she to tell him the stone was evil?
Yeah. Oh dear.
Renato felt ready to become faster, stronger, bolder. If only he could figure out which.
Alright. Come on, wind. There we are. Just one more. Huh.
The scientist's toes were pointing arcane instruments at the stone and looking at it through prisms and reflections. Mine, said Renato as he took back the stone. Well, we need it for science, croaked the toads. So he killed them. He felt better immediately. Smarter, too. I thought you'd never come for me, whispered the stone. Then, a far speaker toad croaked in something like Zenobia's voice.
Renato, leave the stone with the toads. It will swallow your soul. You'll kill everyone you love.
But Renato had an army to lead, an empire to bring down.
Quite a choice. Yes, let's do this.
I know you can fight this thing.
Zenobia continued in the far speaker's croak.
You let me live. You know how evil it is. It will destroy you, Leonardo. It will destroy everything you love.
She was right. He would get rid of it. Right? Now. Or now. He didn't really want to. I know. I'll go to the mountains, Renato thought. I'll find the strength to do it in the peace and quiet there.
Right. That sounds like a good idea.
As the Farfarer landed at the foot of the mountains,
Uh-oh.
Renato was surprised to find Lapino there. What are you doing here? Oh, you wouldn't believe it. I was stowed away on an Imperial courier ship, dressed up as a combat nurse carrying a general's beak transplant.
This is not a great time, said Renato, who was pretty sure he did not, in fact, believe Lapino's story.
That's when you need your friends, said Lapino.
Oh boy.
I just need some peace and quiet, said Renato, and grimly set out on the path.
This won't advance the story any. I'm gonna end up with the first truth again.
Renato had been the terror of the sandcastles when he was two.
Awfully quiet.
Renato told his friend how he had slaughtered the toads, and how he had nearly slain Zenobia.
Burden.
Terrible burden, this Iblis stone, sympathized the rabbit.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, but I need it for the rebellion. Do you now? You know, you were a pretty fine fighter before you were wielding a demonic decoration. Oddly, the sword wasn't whispering at him to kill Lapino.
Up ahead in the mountains, there was a peaceful spot. If he could rid himself of his burden anywhere, it was there.
This is quite the view, he thought.
Renato thought he would make a difference, snatching the Iblis stone before the Emperor could get it. But it would destroy him. Zenobia and Lapino, they were both trying to save him. Peace. That was what he needed.
I'll go with that. Lapino?
So much for peace and quiet. There was Lapino. Again.
You're stronger than some dumb rock, Lapino said. Let's just bury it, and no one will ever find it again. Renato could feel the spirit energy of all those dead ravens inside him, pecking away. The rabbit was right.
Even if the rabbit was a traitor, he was still right. He tore the Iblis stone from his gauntlet and threw it into the hole Lapino had dug. The stone was silent. Probably sulking.
Now whoop those Imperials, said Lapino. Are you coming?
Uh-oh.
No, I can't come with you. It's my old injury, you know. Recently, it's been acting up terrible. I'd be no use to you at all. So Renato boarded the Farfarer alone. Renato felt lonely on board the Farfarer. How could his old friend Lapino, miraculously escaped from the Empire, leave him to face the final battle alone? Well, he'd abandoned Lapino before, hadn't he? It was only fair. And of course he felt lonely. He'd given up the Iblis stone and all the souls he fed it. Of course he felt alone. But he had done the right thing. It had been hard to do, but there was no better feeling than that. Zenobia would be so proud of him.
Mm-hmm. I think I know what's about to happen next.
The battle, alas, was not going well. He no longer had the stone, and he'd never gotten the core. Lapina wasn't with him, and he was up against Zenobia, out there somewhere, maneuvering the Emperor's forces. The rebels had been outnumbered from the start, and he still had that aching longing for the stone. But that is what it means to be a hero. He would fight his way to Zenobia. He would show her what he was capable of. Just him, with no diabolic accoutrements. He would win, no matter the odds.
Excellent.
The mysterious sword from the east made you so fast you could catch a fly with your chopsticks. If that's what you really wanted.
I'd prefer to have the healing hero sword. Ooh.
The rock felt hot in his hand. He could feel its secret power.
Where do I go from here? Do I go back? Is there another way? Oh.
That was always a rush.
Let's see.
Yes, that was it. Pirouette, slash, parry, dodge. Renato had never done such good work in a fight. He wished the poets were along to sing of his exploits for his old age. Maybe he wouldn't have to kill Zenobia. Maybe he could defeat her and take her prisoner. Then he could turn the tide against the Emperor. If she wasn't crowned princess, once this was all over, she'd have more time for him, right?
Aha! Alright, here comes the final bout. Here we are. And let's see the finale play out to this story.
By some miracle, Renato fought his way to the Emperor's ship. He was exhausted, bleeding, but he'd found the strength to reject the stone. Zenobia came out of the ship. "Renato, she shouted. And then she fell down and died. Lapino was behind her, wielding a sword that seemed to suck all the light out of the sun. You idiot! You threw the stone away! Cried Lapino. You said it was evil. It hates sanctimonious prigs like you, laughed Lapino. We're having a grand old time.
Oh boy.
Renato turned and ran. But no matter where he ran, Lapino jumped in front of him until Renato was cornered. That boy could hop. You wouldn't do this to an old friend, would you? Cried Renato. You mean this? Said Lapino as he slid the sword into Renato's guts. Damn it! Again?
Darn.
And just like that, he was alive again, and back on the Farfarer, still fleeing burning Ubar. The book was still open before him. So, the book was a portal. It took you to the future, when your destinies would branch. He had failed and died 3 times, and he hadn't learned anything new this time. He'd done the same thing twice, yet expected a different outcome.
Well, with that, this would be the perfect time for an end card break. So, if you liked what you've seen, be sure to tune in YouTube, hit the bell, and if you're watching on Twitch, be sure to follow. I'll also be posting when I stream, as well as any polls, onto my Twitter page. And with all that said, I shall be continuing.
But he was starting to feel like he was getting the hang of this. There was a way through to victory. He could feel it. He just had to keep running the path of Destinies. With that, the book fluttered back to the beginning, and he fell into it. The clouds parted over the Isles of Boreas. It was time to choose. The rebellion was in trouble. Ravens were scouting for the secret rebel base. They needed